Antibiotics have been for a very long time a baseline for all medicines. There are many antibiotics on the market today that answer to most of the issues, but we need new antibiotics to face the particularly resistant infections, which nowadays are not so widespread still, which means that every new antibiotics will have to be managed and kept on reserve until the need will be conspicuous, which means that any new antibiotics coming to the market is actually not used in many hospitals because physicians want to keep them until they have to use it. Which means that the revenues are very, very low, and companies that are developing antibiotics today have a huge problem to just survive the market entry of their antibiotics, because they will never recoup enough money in a sufficient short period of time to be able to survive economically. At GARDP today, we've chosen to focus on a few topics. Of course, we cannot go too broad in our activities, and essentially we're looking at severe bacterial infections, particularly with the focus of providing these drugs to treat neonates and babies, which is one of the big projects we have. So providing new treatments to treat infants and neonates. We have a big program on sexually transmitted infections, particularly gonorrhea today, which is an important component of what we're doing. We also have something that is bound to trying to get the knowledge and experience of people that work in antibiotics in the past and that are disappearing from the landscape, so as to provide with these expertise the few people that are still left in the field today. It's more an educational program that is important nevertheless. I think there are many activities that have to be taken very seriously, particularly by governments. They have to provide a mechanism that are called pull incentives. So they have to figure out a way to retribute the companies that are investing into antibiotics so that they can generate enough revenues to continue to be active in the field. A few solutions have been proposed, none of them implemented, including what we call market entry rewards, big prize for companies registering antibiotics, or some collateral type of mechanism that will enable companies to extend some of the exclusivity on a product that is a blockbuster for them if they register on antibiotics. This is called a transfer exclusivity voucher. On the other hand, there are some thinking about, in particular, what we call the Netflix model. You pay for getting access to a potential antibiotics even if you don't use it, and that's the subscription model that the UK is trying to develop, and I think we need more of those ideas to really bring the system into a positive dynamic. Of course, we need also to invest a lot on early stage research at academic level in particular, and that's important because we are losing also the skills of working on microbiology, and there are still a huge amount of questions to be answered that will enable to go into maybe developing new drugs in the future, or new therapeutic approach, not only drugs. So that are the two very important aspects of what we have to do. Very complex environment. We still have to develop change guidelines and develop stewardship measures, for not going into the same problems we used to have in the past, which is rapid rise of resistance if we're not using the products appropriately.